Block of red tape, phone them sliding every day. Bunch of hollows spitting out the Glock. I've been serving fiends all day, out there posted with the gang, nigga. We was taught to get it.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? It's your boy Nick Ruiz coming at you again with another video. And today, I got a very interesting video. I'm gonna be talking about my personal top 10 list of NBA 2K21 current gen builds for 2K21. This list is my opinion. A lot of you guys might disagree or have totally different builds on this list. It's all opinion based, but I think it's a pretty decently accurate list. So without further ado, let's start out with number 10, and number 10 is going to be a center build. Now at number 10 I have the pure blue interior force pure post score 7'3" build. Now this build is not going to go any higher than number 10 on my list, and newsflash, we're going 10-1. It's not going any higher than 10 because it takes no skill to use, okay? So you're going to choose speed and the strength pie chart, up to you honestly. The finishing you're going to max out. You're going to end up with 30 finishing badges. Shooting, you can upgrade post fade a little bit. You can get to 70, 75. Post fade's up to you, but post moves you definitely want to max out. Ball handle, you want to get around 9 playmaking, and then the rest put on defense because you don't want to get bullied in the paint, even though you're 7'3", so you're not going to get bullied as much. Yeah, man, you end up with 10 defense. You get 31, 9, and 10. Pretty good. Body shape, you go burly or built. I go burly, 7'3". Weight, you can max it out, but you'll lose so much speed. 95 strength, max wingspan. Post take, so when you get that post take, you can just body anyone. You got the 7'3" pure post score interior force. At number 9, I have a power forward build, and it's going to be a really good offensive power forward build. I got the stretch playmaker. You're going to choose shooting and playmaking pie chart. Go with the all speed. Especially on a shooting big man, strength does not matter. You need to be able to dex, which if you don't know dexing is, it's basically cheesing off ball, moving, and you're gonna need the most speed possible so you can dex and get open more. Especially on a shooting big man, you don't need strength really, especially on a shooting big man. Strength in general is a little overrated this year, but especially on a green pie chart type build. But so you see, I upgraded the basics like close shot, driving layup, driving dunk, most of the shooting except post fade, most of the playmaking, and then defense, get the rest on defense. But you can play around with the attributes. Maybe you don't even need finishing on this build, but yeah, man. So body shape's up to you, personal preference. Height, you can go 6'8" or 6'7", but honestly, you're not gonna get the cheesy dribble moves regardless. So I just get the extra inch and go 6'8". You got 75 speed. That's really good on a power forward. Weight, you can minimize it or keep it default. I wouldn't go too heavy because you'll lose your speed. Wingspan, you can max it if you think you can hit with a 76.3, but 76.3 isn't all consistent this year. So I just got it to where you get an 83 pointer, and I felt good about that. And they even give you a slash take, so if you want to trick people and choose slash take, go ahead, but for this example I'll go with playmaker takeover. And you got the stretch playmaker, a really cheesy power forward build. Next build at number 8 is a small forward build, and it's going to be the point forward, but with a twist. It's the point forward build with lock takeover. So you're going to go small forward, choose the pure yellow pie chart, go with the most speed. You want the most speed so you can dribble and get open faster. You're going to upgrade the basics in finishing close shot, driving layup, and driving dunk. It'll get you a total of 3 finishing. Now that's not the best, but you can work with that, okay? And then the shooting, you're going to upgrade mid-range, 3-point, and free throw. You're going to get a total of 9 or 10 shooting. That's good enough in my opinion for this build, especially with a 3-point rating. Ball handling, you're going to get it to the playmaking. You're going to get 25 playmaking. If you want more and think you need more, you can go with more, but honestly I feel like 25 is enough. You can go 25, 27. Defense, you're going to put the rest down, because you want to get lock take on this build. I've seen some YouTubers make this build. It's pretty good. So just get about 10 defensive badges, and this is a pretty decent badge layout. Body shape's up to you. Choose whatever you want. Height 6'7", because you want to be able to still speed boost. Wingspan, you can do whatever you want with it, to be honest. You can put on 85, but there you go, you got lock take. You can still get pro dribble moves with an 85 dribbling, but now you got lock take. At 96 overall, you'll have 86 ball control, so you'll be speed boosting with lock take. And there you go, you got the point forward, but with the twist, you might have you'll have a lot of fun with this build. It's a point forward with lock take. You can speed boost at 96, and you have lock take. It's pretty cheesy, man. At number 7, we got a shooting guard build, and you're gonna go and you're gonna choose the pure green pie chart. It's at the shooting guard position. All speed pie chart. Remember, on shooting builds, you need all speed. Finishing, you can play around with it. You can get driving layup and close shot. It'll be pretty good for you. But shooting, you definitely want to max it to get the 30 shooting badges. Just to let you guys know, this build is the pure sharp, except it has max wingspan, because you know, you'll end up with like 72ish or 74ish ball control, but you really won't need much, because you need 85 ball control to get pro dribble moves anyways. So why not max your wingspan? You know what I'm saying? And it'll help you get defense. You'll see what I mean in a second. So you're gonna want that finishing. You only get one finishing, but you get 30 shooting, 12 playmaking, 9 defensive. It's a pretty good build in my opinion. Yeah, man, just make sure you play around with the numbers. You know, you might want different attributes, but for this example, I'm just showing you the way I would make it. A lot of people think differently. Body shape's up to you. Height, I would go 6'6", 6'5". As you can see, if you go down, you don't gain any ball control, so it doesn't matter. Just go 6'5", 6'6". Weight, lower it just to get the most speed possible. Wingspan, try to get it as maxed out as possible. You see what happens when you max it out. You get much better defense, and you still have a three-pointer that's very high. Okay, that's not a bad three-pointer at all. You'll be able to hit whites with that. It's good, man. Takeover, I like spot up, so I choose the 3-point shooting takeover. And you got the sharp facilitator with max wingspan. Next build at number 6, I got another point guard build. This is gonna be the 6'5" slashing playmaker, Hall of Fame finishing, Hall of Fame playmaking badges, but we're gonna make it to where you have a really good mid-range, so you can shoot the ball a little bit. You might be able to time your jumper good. You can go with the all speed, and you get that acceleration and vert too. Looking good. You're gonna max out close shot, driving layup, and driving dunk. You're gonna get a total of 19 finishing. Okay, then shooting, mid-range shooting, free throw, so you get a total of 9 shooting badges, which is pretty decent. You know, you can get some gold shooting badges like range extender. Then playmaking, max out ball control and ball handling, and then get your defense up. You're gonna end up with around 7ish or 6 defensive badges. Defense isn't as important on this build, but you still want to get some defense. You don't want to get bullied on defense. With the remaining, I just put it towards playmaking to get 1 extra playmaking badge. So you see, the layout is pretty good. Okay, body shape's up to you. The height, you're gonna go 6'5", and you're gonna make the wingspan a little bit bigger, so you can get a 85 driving dunk, and you'll still have an 87 ball control, so it's still really good, as you can see. Yeah, man, just get the wingspan out a little bit. Okay, so you see the stats are pretty good. You get pretty well-rounded stats on this build, and the three-pointer isn't that high, but with that mid-range you can shoot. You just throw on a couple boosts. The mid-range should be pretty good. Okay, now let's get into the takeover. Okay, because takeover is really debatable on this build, because there's a lot of different options. You might want playmaker. I'd go with slasher. Maybe you want to shoot better and choose shot creator, but I'm gonna go with slasher just because I want to dunk on people. This build is made to dunk and finish around the rim, so yeah, I'm in slashing playmaker. Next up at number 5, we have built the point guard position. It's gonna be the 6'7" or 6'6" max wingspan, depending on how you want to build it. Pure playmaker, pure yellow pie chart, most speed possible. Okay, you want to get yourself open. You want to have the most ball control, speed with ball. I mean, look at all that, and look at the vertical and acceleration, not too shabby. The speed will go down a little bit when you go 6'7", but you can still minimize the weight to make it so much better. So you get 6 finishing, which off the bat, You saw earlier at small forward, this build's better than the point forward because the point forward gets 3 finishing. This build gets 6 finishing, 12 shooting, 25 playmaking, put the rest on defense. This is going to be a pretty well-balanced build, okay? This build can do it all. Especially if you just find a cheesy jump shot, the build can do it all. That's pretty well-balanced. Body shape's up to you. Height, you can go 6'6" max wingspan or 6'7" minimum wingspan. For this example, we're going to go with the 6'7" minimum wingspan version. Weight, drop it all the way down. You got 90 speed, that's really good on a point guard. Minimize the wingspan. Yeah, man, it looks pretty good. Then takeover, you even get a spot up shooter takeover, but go with playmaker for this example. And you got the pure playmaker 6'7" demigod. Next up on my list at number 4, I have a very dominant power forward build. This build is very good. It's been a very popular build. You'll see this build on everywhere in the park, rec stage, everywhere. Pure red, 6'8", pure red paint beast. You're gonna go with the either speed pie chart, or if you want, you can go balanced. In my opinion, I like balanced. I like having balance across the board, so I went balanced. But honestly, as said earlier, strength doesn't really matter this year. But on a big man, especially when setting them screens, I do want to have some strength. So I ended up playing with the numbers a little bit. It says 15 right now, but in a little bit you'll see I just ended up with 16, 1, 4, and 30 as opposed to what I had before. Before the game came out, I made it with like 12 finishing, 6 playmaking, and 30 defense. But I realized over time, especially with playing the game now, that on a big man, you really don't need many playmaking badges. I mean, it's a big man. Your job is to get rebounds, set screens, so you want to roll to the basket and finish at an elite level. So I figured, why not get more finishing, you know? As opposed to 12, I went with 16 finishing. It's pretty good in my opinion, you know, but honestly, you could do whatever you want with this build. This build is personal preference. So you see what I ended up with. Looks pretty good to me. This is a very dominant power forward build, guys. Body shape, you can go with defined, built, or burly. 6'8", and you see what you get. Weight, I did go up a little bit just to get more strength. As you see, it looks pretty good. When you max wingspan, you now get all the finishing in the world. You can now get any contact dunk in the game, especially because you're a power forward. Takeover, personal preference. You know, some people like glass. Personally, me, I like blocking shots and protecting the rim, so I went with rim protector takeover. And you got the 6'8" pure red paint beast. Let's go. Alright, so now we're getting into the top 3, and number 3 is going to be a power forward build once again. This time, a very well-rounded power forward build. The pure green, you're going to go with the all speed. Once again, the dexing I talked about earlier. You need to be able to move off ball. Now, me personally, you can play around. I wouldn't upgrade finishing. I honestly just upgraded that close shot because I had some left over. But as you can see, this build is very well-rounded, okay? You're going to get 30 shooting badges, right? Then you're going to want to get a lot of playmaking, okay? I don't know why 2K did this. The pure stretch gets so many playmaking badges if you max it out, bro. I'm telling you, playmaking is the way to go. But then you definitely want to play with defense. And some stretches might want to finish in the paint, but honestly, bro, you are rarely going to be in the paint. You're going to be either pop into the wing, or you're going to just be in the corner, or you'll just be on the wing catching and shooting, bro. It's pretty good, but you do get some defense. You can make it different ways. Body shape's up to you. For me personally, I went 6'8". I don't want to go 6'7" on this build because I want the height, you know. Weight, you can do what you want with it, but I just kept it so that I make sure that I get around a 70-ish speed. It's pretty decent. Wingspan, you can max it if you want. A lot of people are maxing it, but honestly, I want a 93 point, okay? We want to be safe. We want to make sure we can make as many threes as possible, and if you have a 93 ball, you make more whites. Takeover, spot up, of course, or you can go post, but it says 3-level score. I know it says 3-level score, but it's actually a pure stretch. It'll either be a 3-level score or a pure stretch, so if you care about the name, there it is. Now we're at number 2, and you're going to see this is where we get a little biased in my opinion, okay? Because I honestly think this is one of the best point guard builds in the entire game because it's so dominant, okay? And it's also the best pure red build in the game. 6'7", pure red, pure lockdown point guard. You're going to go all speed, right? You're gonna max it out. This is the way I made it, by the way. Some people might max out some shooting, but honestly, I don't care about shooting on this build. I'm gonna be coming out with an update. I have this very build. It's my favorite build this year. I got to where it had 13 finishing. The shooting I didn't even touch, not even free throw. Playmaking, I maxed it out to get 11 playmaking, pretty good. Then defense, of course, I maxed it out to get 30. This build is just so dominant. I'm gonna show you guys some clips in future videos. I have an update for you guys. I'm close to 95 overall, and at 99, this build's gonna be even more dominant. Okay. Mainly because this build can play any position. That's why I have it number 2. Body shape's up to you. I went defined. Height 6'7". Okay, that's the pretty good height. And people think that can't really dribble, cause it can't. Weight up to you. I maxed it out just to get the 72 interior defense. Guys like Laker fan, they ended up minimizing the weight so that you can get 90 speed. Honestly, I don't feel like I need 90 speed on this build. This build is pretty fast. Wingspan, I obviously max it out. And look at the driving dunk and standing dunk. 93 standing dunk on a point guard, bro. That's why I made this build. And then I even play point guard with this build. It can play any position you want it to. Whenever I play center, I destroy bigs. But when I play on point guards, I can just baby them in the paint. That's how good this build is. I recommend you make this if you want to be really good at the game. Okay. Well, not really good at the game, because it really takes no skill. And the only negative to this build is it really can't shoot. And people will say it can't dribble because the low ball control. If you put on some cheesy dribble packages, some of the normal ones are pretty cheesy. You can create your shot. But for takeover, I went lock. It's personal preference. And you got a two-way finisher, 6'7", pure lock demigod point guard. And finally at number 1, I'm pretty sure you guys already know where I'm going with this. It's a point guard build, but it can literally do it all. Okay, you're gonna go down. It's the 50-50 playmaking shooting pie chart. Playmaking shot creator. Everyone and their mama has this build, but it's for very good reasoning. All speed pie chart. This build can literally do it all. Okay. Now it doesn't have the defense that my lockdown at number 2 has, but I've seen people who make the build. Like, I usually make it, in my opinion, like I always say, on a shooting build, you don't need finishing unless you're ISOing. But I've seen people upgrade driving dunk and the defense. Obviously, I value defense, okay? And the defense on this build, I don't know why, but it's so good. And then the finishing, play shots, like you see the driving dunk, if you upgrade it, it's not that high. It's like a 64. But some people who have been upgrading driving dunk, I don't know why, they be catching bodies. They be dunking on people and everything. But height, you can also go anywhere from 6'2" to 6'5". For this example, I'm going 6'4". Weight, you're gonna minimize it, and you get an 89 or 90 speed. Really good build. I don't know why this build is so well-rounded. Not only does it have Hall of Fame playmaking and Hall of Fame shooting, but it can just do it all on defense and finishing as well. Wingspan, minimize it. Takeover, it's up to you on this build, but for this example, I just went with the spot-up shooter takeover. Honestly, doesn't matter. But yeah, man, you got the play shot. Everyone and their mama has this build. It can do everything. But that's gonna be it for today's video, man. What did you guys think of this list? Is it accurate? Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on this list. Love you all. Please like, comment, sub if you're new. Be part of Noti Gang. It's been your boy Nick Ruiz. I'm out for now. Peace.